stumped him! He stumped him! He stumped him! Nice block! Wow! Great penetration, surge through the middle of that. Michigan State, first and goal. Touchdown! Yeah! Outstanding play.
Very well the start of the second half. Played pretty well to start, middle of the first half. And when we had some letdowns, they were major letdowns. I thought every loose ball they got, first half they had 7 offensive rebounds to our 1. One when we're running out of there, they score a 3 after an offensive rebound. We did not run much offensively. I thought we missed some decent shots, and still we defended well enough on the first attempt, but the second attempt, Herrera killed us in there, getting 6 offensive rebounds and scoring on just about all of them. So very tough loss for us, but we deserve, give Mike and his team credit. I thought he's had a lot of close losses, and as I told my players, that's the way the league's going to be. 1, 2, and 3-point games are all going to be that way. Malik shooting 90% from the line, goes and breaks 2 to start the way. Just didn't seem like some of our guys were with it, and we finally got some guys some shots. Got Max 11, got Gabe 8. They just didn't shoot it very well. So sad, because I thought Julius Marble played pretty well to the very end, and then maybe got tired and just did not do the job on the second shots. Yeah, I'm frustrated. I am. I've been emphasizing a little disappointed in some guys not adhering to the emphasized statement. And so I've taken the blame when I deserve the blame. And right now, when you get that many loose balls and don't come up with them, somebody on the floor has got to look in the mirror. Well, we had AJ in there, who's bigger and stronger, and he sprained that ankle and couldn't go. And, Ty tried to do what he could do, and Malik, who really just had a tough night, had the ball and throws it inside with 2 seconds left. We score, but it was too late. So we didn't. We were trying to run a screen, rescreen, and we just gave it up. I don't think we should have given it up. Oh, we took a couple bad shots, and that started it. And then we just didn't check. We did not check. We had trouble with the ball screens. They kept.
You are looking live at Inside the Locker Room. This is Brian Mosallam, my co-host, Jason Strayhorn, the Honorable, who is via satellite. What do we call this?
Yeah, it's satellite. Now, it's 2022, everybody's working remotely now. So, hey, we can do what we got to do when we got to do it.
It's not the same with you here. You're out there in California recruiting for certain coaches on our staff. We need you here in-house. The ratings go up when you're in-house. How's it like over there? What's the weather like over there? What was the Super Bowl like?
It was beautiful. I mean, the weather's beautiful, obviously. Super Bowl was extraordinarily nice. It was warm. Just a great time. Great ball game. What a game to see Matt Stafford finally bring one back. For those who consider the Rams a part of the Detroit folklore now.
We're not going there. Not going to happen.
Detroit, ridiculous, but, Matt Stafford, happy for him. Very happy for Brian Allen. Spartan dog bringing home a Lombardi trophy, and he gets that ring. So very happy all the way around for that game to see how it ended. Exactly what we talked about. Said it's going to come down to the pass rush. I think one of those clips went out just today from our talk last week about what the deciding factor of the game is going to be. Joe Burrow's not going to be able to think fast enough at the end of the ball game, and what happened? Aaron Donald comes through, 2 sacks in less than 2 minutes, and puts the pressure on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals to seal the game and the championship. They just had a nice parade here in town. Matthew Stafford had a few of these. Not like this. His is a little bit more high octane than mine.
Good for him.
It's good for him. So
yeah, good for him. Let's get to the important stuff, though. Our beloved Spartans played last night against Penn State, blew a 14-point lead. And, winning on their own in the Big Ten is tough. And this team, the last couple weeks, has been yo-yoing. as it relates to bringing it, showing the tough, gritty, Izzo type teams of defense, rebound, effort, and we're on one game, off another game. Do we have highlights of that game, Alex? Yeah, and so we're in control most of the game. It was a really weird game. I felt like we're not going to lose this game regardless of how close it got. And then we were up 14 in the second half, and then just all of a sudden it became time to unravel. And you thought earlier on that we learned our lessons from the previous game, the Northwestern game, the Wisconsin game, and then we're finding out that, as we all know, Izzo's best teams are senior laden or experienced laden, and they're led by older veteran type, alpha type leaders. And right now we have a pretty young team, and there's no excuse for losing on the road after a game like this, especially when you made John Harrar look like he was 16 and 16. Yeah, we couldn't stop him underneath. And I think I think there's a couple things that we can control. We can control effort, toughness, defense, rebounding. What are your thoughts on that game, Jason?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head when you talked about what championship Izzo teams look like. And when you brought up the word leadership, I think this team is searching for leadership. It's what you heard in the post-game comments from Tom Izzo, saying guys aren't, getting the message. People aren't stepping up. Every game it's a different guy who's stepping up, and it needs to be focused on one person has to take the bull by the horn. One of these guys has to say, you know what, this is my team, and I will not lose. Last night, happened to have a dinner with a guy that coached, actually is a front office guy with the Rams, and he showed me a picture of a Lombardi trophy that Von Miller taped to the table, like where they get their uniforms, the equipment area, the shelf where guys get their gloves and pads and socks and all that. And it said, "If you want me bad enough, I will change your life. How bad do you really want me?" He just hand wrote this, right? That's what leadership is. But, when you're talking about a group of 53 guys, this is a smaller team. Guys, it's 12 to 14 players on this team. You need one guy that's going to step up and influence the rest of the guys and say, look, this is what it takes. And it's difficult, as you said, when you have a young team because there's nobody who's really been there. But somebody has got to do it in order to take this to the next level. And, we're still searching for that in Michigan State on the basketball side of things. Tom Izzo may have to fully inject himself. I can tell he's holding back and waiting for someone else to join in.
Oh, he's starting to inject himself. That time of the year is coming. It's coming. I mean, if you look at the historically, you have a veteran guard, senior leadership, junior leadership, 3-4-year guys in a program. These are the best Izzo teams. And so you can argue we're a year away. We're a year away before we get some of that. Got a young backcourt, new backcourt. We got 2 seniors on a team playing right now, Bingham Jr. and Gabe Brown. I mean, they really need to lead, take over, and those are the best Izzo type teams. And we show flashes of it. I mean, you saw us versus Indiana, at Wisconsin. They're very capable. They're very, very capable of doing that. And it was very interesting when Izzo's comments after the game. If you have those comments, Alex, show us. When he talked about, I'm frustrated. I've been emphasizing it about offensive rebound. I mean, we got beat up on offensive glass. I'm a little disappointed in some guys not adhering to the emphasis. And so I've taken the blame when I deserve the blame. And right now, when you get that many loose balls, don't come up with them. Somebody on the floor has got to look in the mirror. And I really appreciated that comment because usually he does take the arrows and the bullets. But at some point, like he always says, the best teams he's had are player-led teams. And so this was a shot across the bow. I mean, they need to lead in order to win. Thoughts?
Well, that That's what we just said. That's exactly what needs to happen for Michigan State to take that next step if they want to go far into the dance, which starts in March. You know, we talked about January, February, Izzo. If they want to go far in the tournament, then they have to have some leadership from the player. That's what he's saying. Someone that's on the court has to take a hard look in the mirror. He's saying, look, guys, it ain't me. Like, he can yell and scream all he wants, and he can drop all the plays, but if there's no one doing what Draymond Green did, or guys like Cassius Winston or Mateen Cleaves did in the past, those kind of leaders, you know, not looking for, you know, the stellar All-American guy, but somebody.
Matt McQuaid, rah-rah, just vocal, taking charge.
Just take charge and say, look, hold people accountable. That's what they're looking for. That's what they need. That's what they're missing right now.
You know, what's interesting is that the Micah Shrewsbury, Penn State's coach, after the game, had some very interesting comments because he obviously sees the same thing that we see. He knows very well Izzo teams and the way that what they need, their chemistry. So he said, quote, they're counting on younger guys to play in main roles for them. If you think about their group, and he went on to talk about Hogarth's young, Walker just got there, Max Chris is young, Malik is still fairly young. They usually have seniors carrying the group, and that's what it is. And Bingham has had a good year for them and has played well. I think Joey has done it at times, but like these guys are the ones that usually carry the team, the seniors. So I think it's counting on those younger guys. They still have a lot of growth left in them. And they're really right here, when you look at this next comment, it was very interesting because it's everything that we're saying. If you look in the past, Cassius is getting those shots. Denzel is getting those shots. I don't know if they have that guy right now. They got a lot of guys that are capable, which they do. We've seen flashes of. They got a lot of guys like that, really good players that will probably be that for them here. But I think just the transition of not having seniors that they've always count on to carry them, I think it's probably the difference. It's absolutely 100% spot on.
And that's a great self-scout thing right there. If you look at what Penn State coach said about Michigan State, but you know, where true leadership is born, you don't have to wait. It doesn't have an age to it. Age ain't nothing but a number, like Aaliyah said. You don't have to be a senior to lead. We've seen that before in other sports. It happens all the time. You see guys that are rookies in the NFL. You see guys that are rookies in the NBA. You see freshmen that come in and dominate in college basketball. You've seen freshmen that come in and dominate in college football. That's what it is. So it isn't impossible. Someone just needs to have the guts, what Coach Saban used to call intestinal fortitude, to step up and be that leader that everybody's wanting them to be. And it will change the entire trajectory of this team for the 2022 season. That's really what we're all worried about. That's what we want. We want this team to go as deep as they can into the tournament. And if they want to be an Elite Eight, a Sweet 16, Elite Eight, dare I say, a Final Four team, you're going to have leadership, because when the tough gets going, you got to have leadership there to say, look, and hold people accountable, because that is what gets you there when it's survive and advance time in the month of Islam.
That's true, but if you look at his historically, show that box score, Alex. Historically, you're right about that, Jason, but historically, the Izzo-led teams are veteran-led teams. You know, player-led teams. And this is where, you know, when you look back at 18 Miles Bridges, some of these great teams that were not as veteran-focused, talent-focused, the deep runs are not as, they're just not there as a senior-led, veteran-led team. Because when you talk to other people that play for Coach, the offense is so complicated to understand that the guards, it takes 2.5 years to really learn the whole offense. And I just think if he, you know, his best teams have a strong point guard, strong guard. You look at Julius Marble, who's really come on. You look at some of the numbers. You know, you need Gabe Brown to step back up. You need Marcus Bingham to step back up, and you need some of these veterans to lead this team, or it could be a quick exit. But as we know, Izzo plays 9, 8, 9, 10 guys a year, builds depth all year, mixes and matches lineups, does what he has to do, builds that depth. Everybody complains and bitches all year, and by the time tournament time comes, they're steely, they're focused, they're tough. He's got 9 guys ready to rotate, and this has been the story of his career. And, I mean, this loss is ugly, inexplicable loss. And this is something that I believe it's an evolution of the Izzo process. And eventually they'll figure themselves out.
Brian, just forget this year because we don't have seniors.
No, we got 2. It's going to click.
Well, then they need to do it now.
It's going to click. We're Saturday away. We're Saturday away.
One Saturday. We don't have a lot of time to be dicking around here.
We're 3. Please don't swear. We're 3.
We don't have a lot of time to be. You know what I mean?
Beep. Around.
Come on. We cannot sub around.
Listen, the Super Bowl just ended. College basketball starts.
Basketball season now. 100%. Okay? Wednesday after Super Bowl, Valentine's
It's time
Day.
now. Now it's time. Now his own starts. Oh, here we go. Saturday.
With that Valentine's Day right after Super Bowl. But we'll get to that on another show, another episode. Damn America for that. But this is basketball season now. I'm 100%.
Now it is. Now it is. That's why he made the players unavailable after the game.
Yes.
Interesting, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah,
so, and we know Coach to wear his emotion on his sleeve, open door policy, kind of anybody have at it and kind of let the players learn about the experience and talk. And in this game, he had all the players unavailable, which is probably the first time since I remember. And everybody's wondering why. I'll tell you why. He walked into the locker room. He was pissed off. And he said, "We're done. No media today. That's it." That's as simple as that. That's the way it went. There wasn't any preconceived notion. Now, I do believe that right there is the catapult for the season. There's always every year one thing that happens that he does that either it's off the cuff or it's intentional that really ignites his team. And this is the one. This is the thing that he did. So mark my words. Him making them not available is going to lead to a run. What do you think, Jason?
I hope so. I think maybe hinting to them that
this is a shot across the bowel, no question.
Yeah, the shot across the bowel. So yes, doing that and saying, "Look, guys, gloves are coming off. I am not protecting you guys' asses anymore. We're not protecting you. I'm going to tell you what I can tell you. I'm going to cover for you when you're giving me 100% effort. But if you're not diving for loose balls, if you're not busting your tail on the glass, if you're not giving maximum effort, then there's no cover here. Because those things take no talent. Leadership really takes no talent. It takes the ability to hold your teammate accountable. That's it. Try to do the right things, man. Try to do the right things every single day. That's all he's asking for, and he ain't getting it. So if he ain't getting it, he's going to tell the media and tell you at home, "Hey, this is what's going on. Those guys are doing the work on the court that I've told them to look themselves in the mirror, and they're not doing it yet. So hopefully they get that hint before." I mean, nowadays we all talk about it. Everybody can get to players. Very simple, very easy to tweet, to send an Instagram DM at somebody. It's you know all about that, Brian. They can get right to you nowadays, right? It's not like it used to be.
What do I know about it? What do I got to do with it?
What do you got? I have no idea. You're just the Twitter king.
I'm going to give you $100,000 if you get Izzo on Twitter.
Oh man, that'll take
I give you $1 million. Get him on Twitter. Let him engage you like Mel does.
2 more zeros. Give me 2 more.
Listen, there was clearly an unintended shot. He said nobody's talking to media. He went out and said at some point the players got to accept a responsibility. And here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is the way it goes. By the way, Chief Propaganda wants you to know you look fantastic right now. So you guys looking good. So
Thanks,
just
Chief.
so you know. Yeah, just so you know.
Actually,
So
like
when
the
you
coordinator.
go back to the Indiana game, right, and you look at the dichotomy, the way the games went, the intensity in which we played against Indiana, you know, we're playing a top 25 team, and I know it's old news, but as Coach said, the grit, the hustle, diving, loose balls, rebounds, this is what it's going to take. You want to make a deep run right here? This is what it's going to take. And it's amazing, this team, the way that they can elevate one game, and then they can have duds against Penn State, Northwestern, Wisconsin, and that speaks to the youth of the team. I'm not going to say immaturity, but the youth and experience of the team. That there's going to be glimpses of greatness, and there's going to be glimpses like, what the hell's going on, like last night. And the energy, intensity we showed against Indiana, we're going to need that for the Saturday. And right, Jason? Got to show up.
I'm just asking, what do you think about those black unis, though?
I love the black unis.
That's what Spartan Twitter wants to know about those black unis.
Oh, Spartan Twitter loves the unis. Listen, they love the unis. And they also love the fact he started A.J. Hogarth, and he's able to make some changes and be a little flexible with his lineups. And I laugh when I read all the comments and all the experts on Twitter. Listen, guys, look at those banners in the rafters. There's a method to his madness. Don't ever question the man, because if he's got the goods, we're going to make a run. He knows it, and that's all that matters. We don't need to know it. He knows it. So play with this intensity, play with this effort and this focus, and we'll be just fine going into March.
Gabe Brown's got to step up.
Absolutely. Gabe Brown's got to step up. Marcus Bingham Jr.'s got to step up. Malik Hall's, starting to see more floor time. Had some outstanding plays. Malik Hall's really been a game changer.
He's been balling. He really has.
Absolutely been balling. And I think that tough, gritty. Look at that Malik Hall play of the week. Where you got that Malik Hall play of the week? It was phenomenal versus Indiana. Look at that over the backboard. It's people who want to forget. They forget we played Penn State, but that was a play of the week. It was an amazing shot right there.
Yeah, that's incredible. Hard not to like these players.
Very hard. Can we see that box score real quick? Right there. So that game here, AJ really took off. Tyson Walker took off the bench. Malik Hall's been a consistent beast. And now we need the seniors to step up. I'm going to tell you right now, this team will go as far as Gabe Brown and Marcus Bingham Jr. go. This team needs to be led by older veterans. And as we now enter, we are now back at, let's go back to the psychology of the MSU fans. Throw that cycle up there real quick. Courtesy of IM West 3-on-3 champions. That cycle, we thought we were past the Izzo's washed up and blow out Superior Point. We're right there. We're coming back to Izzo's washed up. Where do you think we're at, Jason?
I mean, we're inexplicably losing to an inferior team. Fan base meltdown.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back a little bit. You might be right. You're right. We might be back up the cycle. All right.
Yeah.
Inexplicably. So you're right about the losing to an inferior team, and then the fan base meltdown, which leads to Izzo being washed up, which probably needs to blow out Saturday. What do you think?
People that say Izzo's washed up.
That cracks me up.
You're nuts if you think he's washed up. He understands. He knows this game inside out. He's forgotten about more basketball than anybody who's ever paying attention to this knows or can even dream to know. So, no, Izzo is not washed up. But for sure, they're having a method to the madness and having a pupil who is willing to accept the teachings of the master is tough. That's
by the
tough.
way, how hard is it to win on the road in college basketball? It's unbelievable. I don't see anybody going on the road blowing anybody up for 20 minutes, 20 points. This thing's vibrating in my ear, and I mean, it's just. I mean, do you see any blowouts on the road? I mean, every game we have on the road is a battle.
Mental toughness.
Yeah, it's vibrating. I'm fighting. I'm chopping. I am. But in which sport is there a greater home court advantage than college basketball? It's incredible.
I don't think there's one, especially in the Big Ten.
So now we head to Saturday, right? Illinois comes in, noon showdown, ESPN. Last game we lost, and Cockburn didn't play. Obviously, that was a tough loss there. Winning on the road, we never play well there in Champaign, but winning on the road is tough. We obviously have to contain. I can't. I'm vibrating there. We have to contain Kofi. We got to contain Trent Fraser, and we really need continue Malik Hall to keep going. And we need Gabe Brown and Marcus Bingham Jr. to step up, especially down low, because we are battling a tough center, big physical underneath. And all year we have not done well against that type.
I thought he was in the portal. What happened to that? I thought Cockburn was in the portal.
I thought we had him for a minute.
And then he reneged. I don't understand. I mean, we got to go back to the assembly hall. This is another assembly hall, right? There's like 15 assembly halls in the Big Ten.
How many is there? Like at least 13, I think. Yeah, but they're coming to East Lansing this time. Player reunion day.
Yeah, we're sick of all this stuff. But they have to find a way to open the can. This is not a bad team. This is a very good team.
Good team.
Yeah, and Michigan State right now is not playing up to par. But this is when you see, Michigan State step up. This is when you should see a Michigan State team who's down, who lost the game they shouldn't have lost a week ago, find a way to pull out this victory at home against the Fighting Illini. So it'll be an exciting ball game, exciting matchup, because right now, they're getting challenged. Practice today is not fun. It is not fun. You watch those guys walking from the Breslin, the practice facility, over to Wonders right now. They're probably not walking fast.
Those last, I'm telling you, I'm thinking flashbacks that Wednesday, today, tomorrow, Friday, misery heading into Saturday, and those young men can't wait. They couldn't. Just Saturday couldn't come fast enough for them. And that's what I think. This is where I think Saturday will be the turning point of the game. The no media availability was a shot across the bow. Him sending a message to his team about somebody's got to take blame internally was a message across the bow. And I believe Saturday we're going to come in there and we're going to show up. Look, show those Big Ten records real quick, please. So we're 2 games back. And we got a tough stretch coming up here. Got Saturday's win is a must, an absolute must. And then we got a brutal stretch. And we got, I believe we got 4 or 5 top 20 teams coming up. We're going to go one at a time, though. We're not going to look past Saturday. The Breslin should be rocking on Saturday. It's player reunion weekend. All the foreign players will be back. Everybody will be back in town. So that should bode well for the program, the team, and everybody around it. And it's time to get over Penn State and go out and play Saturday. So I fully expect this coach's team to rebound. But again, we go back to the leadership and that alpha dog, and being veteran-led, senior-led. And if that's not figured out, it will be a quick exit. But as we know, Coach and his staff, they'll figure it out.
There's no choice. They got to figure it out. They got to figure it out, and they will. There'll be some soul searching.
Absolutely. On to the Super Bowl. Spartan dog Brian Allen, a Super Bowl champion. How about that? Wins the Super Bowl. And what a great family, huh? I love his brother Jack. I love his dad. You know, it's great to see one of our own Spartan dogs win the title. We got to get him on the show. Can you get him on next week?
We're gonna work on that. We're gonna get him on. You know, me and Brian do some little pregame chats every. You know, I take credit for helping him win.
You deserve credit.
You know, because
credit's free. You got it.
You know, he responds. You know, back and forth. You know, just to get his mind right. He said,
"You're big time in us." Okay. All right. So he responds to your. Are you telling everybody he responds to your text messages?
He's a center. Michigan State. Gotta love
him. So you get him on the show next week?
Let's do it.
All right, get him on.
And see what happens. That's all I got to do.
Get him on.
Hey, you know, I know Brian Mosallam, and see if he says, you know what, I want to
tell him. I love Jack. I love their dad. Love the family. So happy for him. Are we happier for him or Stafford? As a Spartan.
Even. Oh, we got to be happier for Brian. I mean,
absolutely. Totally agree.
They won a national title and they won a Super Bowl with no.
Absolutely agree. God, imagine it, reaching the pinnacle of your profession, winning it all. You know, good for him. What a great young man.
Look at that right there. That was the play. That was the play.
This guy's another level right there. This guy's got like Brad and Jordan coached ability, Aaron Donald. Even though he's inside.
I'll tell you one thing about Matt Stafford. You know, when you look at his toughness, Matt Stafford's toughness is underrated. I mean, yeah, the Spartans, we love Brian Allen. And Brian talks about Matt. He says, Matt, he's not only a great dude, but he's tough as hell. When you think of Matt Stafford, people don't think of that. Toughness. They don't think of that.
He's tough. Underrated toughness.
Yeah, he doesn't talk about injuries. The guy plays with broken bones, pulled muscles, sprains all the time. He doesn't talk. He doesn't say a word about it. He just gets out there and plays. And that's rare when you talk about the elite quarterbacks in the NFL. And he definitely has solidified himself as one of those guys. Now he will be in the Hall of Fame discussion without question after that Super Bowl victory.
Not according to Richard Sherman. But we'll see.
Crazy.
We'll see.
Crazy.
You know what's funny was the halftime reactions to the show. When he went on Twitter and social media, it was hilarious. I laughed all of halftime. This was one fake tweet meme sent out.
What are you looking at? All I saw was love. But why is it that all I saw and heard was love and you saw the hate?
I just thought it was hilarious just about all the political messages being made or sent after the halftime show. And I can't believe how mad people get worked up over dumb shit. It just cracks me up.
I won't be watching.
It just cracks me up. It's so funny. Like, why don't we just watch and enjoy? You know? I mean, it just, everything becomes political. Even an NFL halftime show. So funny. We got to give a shout out to MSU women's sports. Congratulations.
Yeah!
Women's basketball beating that school down the road. Got to give you a shout out. And Susie Merchant's program beating a top 5 team. And we got to start incorporating more women's sports here. And Susie, we're proud of you, proud of your program. And if we beat them in backgammon or underwater basketball, we're going to put this on the show. It's that simple.
But the women's sports are way above backgammon, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not the point. Yeah, and then we also want to congratulate. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Ashley Miller. Go ahead.
Ashley Miller throws third perfect game in MSU women's softball history. Ashley Miller, congratulations. That is remarkable.
Perfect game.
Perfect. Not a no-hitter. A perfect game. That is the third one in MSU history. Very, very proud of you, Ashley. Congratulations. Also want to congratulate was Lee Johnson, our new women's volleyball coach, who replaced Kathy George, who retired and had an outstanding career. Coach Johnson, welcome to MSU, and we're excited to have you take over a tremendous program that was left in good hands. Coming from the, is it the Redbirds, Illinois State? Is it the Redbirds? I believe it is. Congratulations. Congratulations, Coach. Welcome to East Lansing.
And congratulations to Kathy George. That was a phenomenal career that she had. She was great. Loved watching basketball games with her when she would, like, hit me. She was very physical in the boards down the block. She's very
awesome.
Yeah.
She is awesome. Shifting now to MSU recruiting buzz. And boy, is there a lot of buzz, football-wise. This guy's made it. Mel's made it a 12-month season, hasn't he?
He sure has.
Heading over when we talk to that recruiting buzz, you got so far a top 5 2023 class. This big junior weekend was called Spartan Odyssey Junior Day. Spartans hosted 10 4-star high school recruits and 2 instant impact transfers. There's been recent offers to Reuben Owens, 5-star running back, Miles McVay, 4-star O-line, Dante Moore, 5-star quarterback, I believe out of Detroit King, Jaden Wayne, 5-star receiver, and Ryan Yates, 4-star DB. I'm telling you, there's just a different kind of vibe around the program, and it was really, really articulated very well by Justin Thin from 247 Sports, who really talked about this article. It was a great article, in-depth article about the buzz around the program, and he talked about one way to quantify the excitement around the program. And he said, look at the list of recruits that attended January 20th at Spartan Odyssey, where they hosted 10 4-star recruits, and talked about just the level of star power being assembled in East Lansing all in the same weekend is really unprecedented. And really almost impressive, he said, was the quality of these recruits is the geographical background they have. MSU hosted 25 recruits from 11 different states, including Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Jason, what are your thoughts on that?
The geographical part?
It's unbelievable. Yeah, when you talk about that.
To get talent. I mean, think about when you're looking at, like, people who are recruiting the best talent for jobs. Say, I don't know, Amazon looking to recruit the best, the brightest, Google, Facebook. They don't like pigeonhole themselves into like, oh, we're only going to recruit in Wyoming. We're only going to recruit Ohio or Michigan. No, they recruit the world, global. And that's what the NFL does. That's what the NBA is showing you that they do. They go around the world. Anybody who can dribble and shoot and has got to move that Euro step, then they get a shot. That's what Mel Tucker is bringing to college football in East Lansing. We want to win here. We want to raise the profile of the university as a whole. Let me tell you something. You win national title in Michigan State, guess what happens to the profile of all of that business school? You win a national title in Michigan State in football, guess what happens to that communications degree? How hard it is to get in that communication school? Where that school ranks amongst the national elite. This is what we're building here in Michigan State, and Mel Tucker is the guy who's leading that charge. He's got it. He's running like an NFL team. I love that. He's got Saeed.
Oh, yeah, no question.
He's talking, what is this new title? The general manager?
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's beautiful.
I mean, if you think about everybody's playing checkers, he's playing chess. You hire Brandon Jordan, got every NFL DN training in East Lansing. You name your director of recruiting, the general manager, executive director of player personnel, which in my opinion is a tremendous move. It shows that we're going to run this place like it's the NFL, and we're going to get you to the league. And if you want to come here and you want to be coached by a bunch of NFL veterans, that have a ton of experience, that have coached a bunch of NFL guys, come to Michigan State. Sends a powerful, powerful message.
You know, you also had a nice quote in this article that Justin Penn wrote. By golly. Brian, let me read this for you. Mosallam had this to say when asked his thoughts. Mel Tucker has the whole country on tilt right now. He has the attention of the recruits across the country, and probably the most fascinating part of all of this is that he has every Spartan feeling like they are a part of the program. I've never seen anything like it. He's made football a 12-month season here. He has every Spartan dog convinced they can suit up again, and every fan ready to run through a wall for this program. And it's not about the wins and losses. He has done it through culture. That is a very, very rare skill set. Nice quote.
I mean, yeah, I think when you can engage the fan base and you can make everybody feel part of the program and you understand all the pressure points of the university and the way he's able to market, the way he understands NIL, portal, branding, what he understands what this young man is looking for to get to the next level, you can't teach that. I mean, he's got all of us bought in. He's got former players bought in. He's got all of Spartan Nation bought in. He's got all of Twitter Nation bought in. And, I mean, you can't really teach that. And it's not just from going 11-2. It's about building that culture. And I've never seen a coach generate more excitement about this program day in, day out, every day, you know, from social media aspects to engaging the alumni base to really understanding what Spartans want to hear, recruits want to hear. It's not about wins and losses. He's changing the culture, and I got to give him credit. I mean, all of us former players are excited every day to hear from him. And Spartans across the country, when they see him dressed up on Twitter, Instagram, they want to punch a wall. They just want to punch a wall. They're ready to go to war for him. And I think that's a credit to coach and his staff. And when you understand the psychology of the Spartan fan base and you understand the psychology of the young athlete in today's world, I think that gives you a distinct advantage. And I think kudos to Mel Tucker. You know, Jason, you had a very interesting comment as well. You talked about, and I think your perspective is very unique. You know, when you were quoted in the article, you said, and I quote, "I have a unique perspective given that I have the distinct honor to play for Nick Saban while at MSU. I have been honored to call Spartan games on the radio for over 15 years. And now each of my sons, which is remarkable actually, have received several Division I scholarship offers." What is it, Jason, 8th and 9th grade? Both of your boys?
7th and 9th.
7th and 9th. What 7th grade in America receives a Division I offer? Impressive. So impressive. They both have very talented friends and teammates from coast to coast that are entrenched in the recruiting process. With all that in mind, I can tell you without question that the trajectory of the program right now is as high or higher than I have ever seen. The scary part is that Mel Tucker is just getting started. So we've heard those infamous words of just getting started or we're just starting. But that's the truth. He is just getting started. It's crazy what's transpiring. The buzz nationally, the calls that I'm getting across the country, it's absolutely crazy. And it's February 16. I mean, it's February 16.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. I'll tell you, man. I was able to I was watching a high school basketball game last night. LeBron James, his son, was there playing, and LeBron came. And there was a lot of people there, right? And one of the guys was like, "Oh man, you're a Michigan State guy." The people, the buzz in California, high school basketball. It was, Siena Heights, whatever the name of the team is that Bronny plays for, versus Modern Day, which is a storied program in football. That's where Bryce Young comes from, the Heisman Trophy winner. They had 3 Heisman Trophy winners. This basketball team, they were meeting in the playoffs. And when they heard Michigan State, I'm telling you, the brand is as strong as I've ever seen it. Basketball? I mean, yeah, they love Tom Izzo. They're looking for Tom Izzo. They heard I'm from Michigan State. They're looking for Tom Izzo. And then a lot of people were saying, where's Mel Tucker? We love Mel Tucker. We heard about Mel Tucker. So, like, what I want people to understand is the brand is strong, very, very strong, and getting stronger by the minute. And Mel Tucker and his staff and Tom Izzo, what he's doing in East Lansing and continues to do, only helps amplify that.
I was at Fort Lauderdale 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, and I had my Michigan State, one of my shirts on, and somebody pointed at me and said, hey, yes, hey, your coach, Mel Tucker? Man, how he dresses. 3-piece suits on, always got great boots on, shades on, suits on. I started laughing. I'm like, where are you from?
NIL deal.
I started laughing. I said, how do you know Mel Tucker? What? He goes, I'm just a football fan. I go, where are you from? I'm thinking Georgia, Texas. He goes, I'm from Montana. I go, huh? He goes, yeah, from Montana. So I'm saying the reach, and people aren't noticing, and it's listen, it's a great thing, right? That's what it's all about. And I think Justin hit the head on the nail. The buzz is just different. It's absolutely different. And when you look now, going to Saeed Khalif, and you look at the title that he gave him, he named Saeed Khalif promoted to general manager and executive director of player personnel. Jason, what kind of message does that send to recruits?
Three words. NFL.
Are they words or are they letters?
Both. The National Football League. That's what they want to hear. You know,
No question.
And he helped them transition smoothly. I mean, you know, with one son in IMG, the way they run IMG is like college. And Michigan State, you know, and obviously the Georgias and the Alabamas, they run their programs like the pros. So it makes it easier. So those high-level people, those high-level players feel comfortable coming to a place where they know that my next step ain't going to be a hard step because I'm already used to it, baby. That's what Mel Tucker represents here at Michigan State. And get ready. That's all I can say.
Are you about to say Tuck coming? Or is he already here?
Yeah. And the way that I was going to say that didn't sound right, but yeah, Tuck here.
Well, let me ask you a question. Brandon Jordan, how did we get him? Do other schools say you can't train NFL players on their campus? How was that done?
You know, this is a thinking outside the box thing.
No question.
You know, most schools look at a coach and they say, okay, well, how many years have you coached? What other schools have you been to? What was your salary?
Do they say it just like that?
Yes.
Just like that.
That's what we hear when they put those guidelines and whatever.
Academia, resume,
yeah,
bullshit.
Everything's got a template that they made back in 1952. Excuse me, the 70s.
Yep.
I love the 70s. We was born then. But like, look, Mel Tucker, Saeed Khalif, they stretched their minds. They said, you know, let's think outside the box. Let's think about the culture, the brand. Let's think about what the kids nowadays want. Let's think about, okay, does this guy fit with us? Does he fit what we're trying to go, where we're trying to go? And they took a flyer. I mean, we've seen similar things like this. Like Auburn took the shot at the coach that was a high school coach. And they let him go from high school straight to college, right, as a head coach. You see it from time to time, but you've never seen a guy who just trains guys on the weekend, let's say, and does camps, then all of a sudden he's coaching a position in a Power 5 conference. And hats off to what Mel Tucker has decided to do with Brandon Jordan, because look at it, it's paying dividends. I'm seeing there's traction with running backs now that he knows. He's got relationships. Like when you have relationships with pass rushers, it doesn't just stop there, okay? You have a relationship with elite pass rushers, the best pass rushers in the world. It doesn't just stop there. Everyone on the team, every kid, every parent takes notice of that when they see that. So, because it's all connected. It's all connected. Mel Tucker realizes that better than anybody on the planet right now. It's all connected, and he's able to see the long game, not the short game. But don't think that this is going to take a long time in order to bear fruit. There's going to be a lot of fruit to bear here in a short time because of the moves made, the heavy moves made by one Mel Tucker.
Power moves. Knows exactly what he's doing. Are we going to have you on set next week?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there.
All right. Well, safe travels. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, especially with the time zone change. And ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Inside the Locker Room. I am Brian Mosallam, along with your co-host, the Honorable Jason Strayhorn. Good night and go green.
God bless.
He stumped him. He stumped him. He stumped him. Nice block. Wow. Great penetration. Surge through the middle of that. Michigan State first and goal. Touchdown. Yeah. Outstanding play.